before 25, I must be married. I must break the jinx of late marriage in this family, especially things that have legal implications. If you don't understand something, hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Esther. Today we're going to be doing something very chilled, as you can tell by the ambience of today's video and me in my lounge wear. So I was having some deep reflection recently and I was reflecting upon my 20s. Yeah, if you didn't know, I'm in the 30s gang. So if you're in the 20s gang, I don't care if you're 29. You need to put some respect on my name. I'm just joking. I was having some reflection and I was writing down some things and I felt like, oh, this would actually be helpful to some people out there. And so I decided that I would start sharing some of these lessons. And so I decided that I would make them into a series. So today's video is me officially kickstarting the 20s series on my channel. So we're going to have a playlist for this. We're going to be discussing different things from career, from relationship, purpose, lifestyle, marriage, everything that concerns the life of the 20s. And we learn every day and our experiences are different. So today basically I will be sharing some of the lessons I learned in my 20s, share some few ones, and I hope that you can relate to them as well. So please let me know in the comment section. One of the things that my early 20s taught me was not trying to have everything figured out before actually taking a leap. I see myself so much as a realist. Like, I like to understand why I'm doing something. I like to know what I want to do. I like to know like the end game of everything. I try to be too logical about things. You know, I like to always want to see the picture. But one of the things life taught me in my early 20s is sometimes you would not have things figured out, but you will find clarity in the doing. Like, clarity comes in the doing of things. But if you let not having clarity deter you, you'll be denying yourself chances of so many things that could be possible, you know. So it taught me to give myself permission to try new things and fail early. If I fail, that means that, okay, what I did is a wrong way of doing it, is what I should not do the next time. You get? Another thing I want to share about and I realize is that life is in seasons. Life is in seasons, but through all the seasons of life, one of the things I observed is that there are lessons to learn. One thing I have observed is, if there is a lesson that I am supposed to learn but I am not seeing at that point, the same experience, probably in another way, happens again, and I'm like, this is familiar. This is familiar. You get? So it tells me that lessons in life will be repeated until you actually pick that lessons. And when I was in my 20s, especially when I was going through challenging times, one of the prayers I used to pray is that, God, open my eyes. Is there something you're telling me in this season that I am not picking? Open my eyes to what you're teaching me at this point. Because I realized that if I don't grab what I'm supposed to grab at that point, there will be a delay in moving to the next point. And one of the things I've observed is that God works with us day by day, level by level, step by step. So it works with us in the capacity that we have. So if we don't learn the lesson we're supposed to learn at a particular time, getting to the next stage might not come in the time that we expect it to come. So all these seasons of life, one season is preparing you for what is in the next season. So one of the things about life is that I've realized is we shouldn't try to jump the gun. We shouldn't try to jump the process. The stage of your life that you are in, no matter how hard you think it is preparing you for something big ahead. I remember an experience I had in my mid-20s. That experience formed a strong foundation for who I am today. That season was a very tough moment of my life, a tough season of my life. But through that season, God taught me a lot of things. God taught me a lot of things that right now defines a lot of things that I do. Like, when it's an experience I cannot forget. But that was actually a season of my life. And one of the things I want to also encourage at this point is to find joy in the seasons of our lives. No matter what we think that it is, try to find the joy in it. At that point, when I was going through some difficult things, I was almost a bitter person. But when I look back now, I realized that No, and I understand how difficult it is when we are going through challenging times. Your focus is not even any other thing. Your focus is how to defeat and how to win at that point. But regardless, the opportunities that we have to be happy, let's just take the opportunity to be happy. When we have joy in the seasons of our lives, it is easier to go through whatever we are experiencing. So this next one is around relationship. Guys, I'm not a relationship coach or a relationship expert, and I'm not trying to be. I just want to say these things from one thing I learned in my 20s is that if a relationship is not giving you the peace that you deserve, don't be afraid to let it go. If a relationship is giving you pressure, if a relationship is giving you heartache, if a relationship is causing you pain, don't be afraid to let it go. Don't let the fear of what could be or could not be, make you stay in a difficult place. I know it is hard, actually, especially if you've invested time, money, resources, emotions, especially emotions. And I remember something my dad used to tell me then before he died. He said, once emotions are attached, it is usually hard to detach. So he told me, then he was actually advising me and was telling me that if I wanted to get into a serious relationship, I should inform him first. You get? Because like I said, in his own words, once emotions are attached, it is hard to detach. I just want to encourage that talk to somebody as much as possible. If you need to see a therapist, but it would be good if you give yourself the gift of healing. If you heal and you move forward early. Another mistake I see ladies make is because they'll say, God has already told me this is the person I will marry, and that's the only person for me. See, I don't believe that there's only one person for one person in the world. All that when people say, you are the only one for me or something, I don't believe so. There are billions of people in the world. If one person has refused to be the person for you, another person will be the person for you. So don't be so hooked on one person that one pastor said this is my husband. Because of that, the man is treating you anyhow, he's not giving you peace, he's putting you under pressure, and you will now stay there. My sister, please, you owe it to yourself to give yourself the gift of a good man. And in the line of that, something else is, please, don't give yourself a marriage timeline. All these things that we put ourselves under pressure. I also had it. I said, before 25, I must be married. I must break the jinx of late marriage in this family. I must be married before 25. Story. 25 came. In fact, 25, I was not in any relationship. I was single as a... I was not in any relationship. So... at that point, I now gave up, like, okay, no, Allah, let's just forget the OT, let me just focus. So, in fact, the way life was even dealing with me at that point, marriage at one point became the last thing on my mind. Life was dealing with me. So, I'm just trying to say that, guys, please, ladies especially, all this go 25, I must be married, 23, be married, please. Don't let anybody define a marriage timeline for you, and don't define a marriage timeline for yourself. If it happens, fine, embrace it. If it does not happen, fine, let life happen. Let God have his way with you. Let God have his way with your life. He's probably preparing you for something, and at that point you are not ready for marriage. And I think also at this point I need to tell the mothers too, please, mothers, stop putting pressure on us for marriage. I'm grateful that my mother was not like that. She never put me under pressure for marriage. She was not pressured, rather she would pray for me. So mothers, please do better. Rather than put us under pressure to get married and start telling us, I got married at your age, I was already married. Please pray for us instead. And when God says it will happen, it will happen. Because by putting ladies under pressure, that is why a lot of ladies will stay in difficult relationships, just because they want to make it work by all means, because they want to get married. Mothers, please, we can do better. And also we in our generation, I'm hoping that with all of the experiences that we've had, we will be better mothers to our children and know that we shouldn't put them under pressure. Another thing I want to discuss, very important, ladies and gentlemen, is please be very careful of things that you get into, especially things that have legal implications. If you don't understand something, consult a legal advisor, or you probably just walk out on it. So be careful of the kind of legal contract you sign. Even when it comes to job, contracts, offers that you take, be careful. Read the fine print. If you don't understand something, seek counsel. If you're not allowed to seek counsel, just walk out of it. It is not worth it. I had an experience in my mid-20s that was very bad, and that was from me signing something that I should not have signed. In your 20s, don't make that mistake, because that thing can easily change the course of your life. Another thing I learned is that the tempo of friendships would change. In my 20s, I've had friends that have come, that have gone. I've had friends that were very close at one point, and at the other time they were not. So the tempo of friendships would change. Me, best thing I've realized is that it's always good to just be good to people and not expect anything. And this is something that I remember one of my colleagues then that I worked with used to say so much. He would say, oh, don't expect anything from anybody so you will not be disappointed. Because if you expect something from somebody, it's easy for you to be disappointed. But if you don't have expectations, whatever they do, you just take them as they are. So, and sometimes when things happen in friendships, it's not as if the person is in doing some things intentionally. It's just probably some things that they are going through at that time, or that life is dealing with them. So the thing is not to take things to heart so much. Don't take things too difficult or too hard on yourself, or be thinking the problem is from you, or all of those things. Tempo of friendships will always change. It's just the same way we go through different seasons of life. Your focus is shifting, your attention is shifting, everything that you're doing is shifting. So also the kind of friends and people that you will need on that journey, they are shifting. So don't try to force friendship. Rather, just be good. Be good to people because you want to please God, number one, and because you are a good person. Don't be good to people because you expect that when you need them, they will also be good to you. Because when you actually need them, they might not show up. And if they don't show up, you'll be feeling bad for it. Be good because, number one, being good even makes your heart feel good. I don't know about you, but being good is less stressful. It's less stressful than trying to keep scores with somebody. This person did this thing to me at that time. This is my own opportunity. You know, you are giving yourself so much headache trying to keep scores. Just let things go. One of the things that the experiences of my 20s actually taught me again is to not be afraid to start over. So thinking back, I realized that there were different points that I started over in career, I started over in relationship, I started over in so many things. But eventually I realized that I was better for it. So if it comes to a point where you need to probably move to a new country, where you need to move to a new job, and it seems like you have to start over again, please don't let that deter you from doing what you have to do. It's better to humble yourself and take the lessons now than to be headstrong about something that is not working. You get? So I'll just leave it at that. So another thing I want to share at this point is for you to take charge of your financial future in your 20s. Don't think that you are too young. 20, 21, 22, 23, whatever 20 that you are, it is not too late. And I feel like at that point it's very important to set the course of your financial future. Learn about a lot of investments, learn about savings plan. You know, there are some kinds of savings plan that you will do that you will just lock your savings away. You cannot have access to. Those were the types that I used to like to do, the ones that I would not have access to. So no matter the temptation that wants to enter me, I cannot go and withdraw it. At one point in my life, the funds that I had locked away was actually what saved me when I was down, when I was broke, because I had that type of savings somewhere that was totally locked away. I had no access to it. That was what actually saved me when I needed it. So if you are not already thinking about, no matter the age that you are in, ensure that you have your finance in different buckets. That's one thing I advise so much. Have money that is stashed and locked away somewhere that you don't have access to. That one can be your savings for the raining day. Then you can have some that is in your probably your savings account that you use for your day-to-day expenses, chilling out with your friends. Have some that is for investment purposes. Those are the ones that will grow, you know, investment that will grow, yield returns. And so invest in different things that have different risks, that have different maturity rates. Basically, don't put all your eggs in one basket. So you are receiving salary, don't just be putting on your salary in only one place. You get? Have money in different things, most especially have side hustles. Try to look for ways to make more money. Don't be depending on only one source of income. If something happens to that source of income, how are you going to survive? Have multiple income streams. There was a time in my life, in my 20s, that I was jobless. I was out of a job. It was some of my side hustles that actually helped me survive through those periods. So you never can tell what can happen at any point Try to see something that you can do. That's why it's also important to learn different skills. Be waiting for people to give you money, and somebody somewhere is giving you money. The person that you're waiting for to come and give you money, you don't know how many people the person has to give money to before the person will remember you. And discuss right now is volunteering is a rewarding experience. So if you have never gotten into any volunteering organization or event or anything in your life, I think you should start. Volunteering is actually a rewarding experience, and I feel like the reward is even immediate sometimes. There are some organizations that will give you stipend, some don't give you stipend, some might just give you transport allowance and all of that. But aside all the monetary benefits that might come from it, you gain network, you gain relationship, you gain job opportunities. Like my first job ever that I got, that was before I even went for my National Youth Service program, NYSC, for those in Nigeria. The job I got was through my volunteering experience. So I used to volunteer then for Leap Africa, and so based on my volunteer experience with them, I think I was in their database, and so I received a call. I think that was the day I finished my final exams. It was a call for a job somewhere, and so I went for the interview. That was how I got the job. So I got the job before I even went to serve at all. I got the job without having to do application. I did not apply, I was called. So you never can tell the people that you will meet. And it's also on my volunteering experience in Lagos, I met different people that if I was sitting down in my house, I would not have met. So aside from friendships that you build, you also build network. You build opportunities for yourself. So there are different organizations around us that are always looking for people to volunteer. So you can volunteer your time, volunteer your money, your resources. You need to be in a place, they need people to help them organize something, or even, whatever it is, volunteer your skill. So if you have not started looking into volunteering, this is your cue to start doing that. Research organizations around you, and for people that are in Lagos, you can check with Leap Africa. I think Stand Against Rape. Just look for a cause, an organization that is invested in a cause that you're passionate about, and start volunteering with them. Lagos Food Bank, I think they used to take volunteers from time to time as well. So just check all of those organizations. If they are not offering you money, leave the money for now. If you have your own transport fare to go there, go there. Eventually, you don't know the opportunities that will open up to you. And aside that, I feel like it's more blessed to give. There's this joy that comes with helping people, with serving. I don't know, that's how I used to feel then, going for all of those things. So it's always a good time. Ensure that if you have not started, do start and be part of it.